This is a Double Face, a true crime podcast. Please make sure to follow, like, and subscribe and get the notifications when a new episode drops. Please help by leaving a 5-star review. It helps the small podcasters like ourselves. Thank you again. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Oli Olis, hey guys, it's us again.
Hi guys.
This week is one of those, we both have been really crazy busy. We finally, as you notice, you could see that there's a different background, so I did move. I'm so excited. I feel like I could share this. I'm not going to share everything with you guys, but I will share this with what I was like okay to share for the detective. And I kind of wanted to keep you guys updated as to why it's been a little chaotic. And last week I uploaded the wrong the wrong sound because I was moving the day before that, and I mean the day after the podcast usually goes out, and I happened to it was really, really chaotic. I was assaulted in my house at gunpoint, and it was a really crazy 2 weeks or a week and a half, something like that. And within those week and a half to 2 weeks, I also had to pack up and leave. And so during that time, I was packing, I was trying to find a new place, I was looking at other places, finally found this one. And I can tell you this much, but I can't answer those questions. So in case you have like specific questions, I'm not gonna be able to answer those. I just wanted to share why it was crazy. But the assailant, I don't know how to say that, sorry. They've been captured, and now it's just how much time and so forth that they get. But they have been caught. So in that time, she's been helping, my other friends have been helping us move, unpack, lights off. Like it was crazy. It was hot, yes, and it was hot in here.
Yeah.
But everybody mustered up the courage to not complain. We kept moving, kept cleaning, so it was a lot. So now that we're kind of stable, this is the first week where it's just kind of playing catch up. So this is where we are. So sorry about the mess up last week, or the mix up. It's because I don't think mentally I was there.
No, you were, yeah.
So now I apologize, but we're back in order. I feel safer. I'm happy. There are cameras everywhere. So I'm glad. And then Mel's had some stuff. So we're playing catch up, and this is our day to play catch up, and this is our day to like finally, I don't have to do a video. She has to just tell me all I have to do is sit back.
For right now.
Today, yeah.
No, but I mean, to kind of piggyback off of that, but it's traumatizing. So I think people would be understanding if you needed some time, and we all understood. We all, we're here, but like we also gave you the time that you needed. So I know your viewers would be understanding if you can get that time.
And you guys did. I don't think no one was like, where's your video? But they were really, at least my personal, like, because I have an online video or online persona that I do online, and they gave me the ability to say, take a time, take a break, come back when you need to. Yeah. And finally I feel like I'm at that place. So now,
yeah, your energy is different.
Yeah,
for sure.
It feels different.
Yeah,
I'm like, thank you.
No, because like I said, if people understand when you go through things like that, it's gonna take some time, definitely.
That said,
but for me, I just want to give a quick shout out to the girl who came up to me at work. Usually I don't get recognized at all, which I'm fine with. It's fine. But she did approach me and said, hey, are you Jose Nawan's best friend? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, which is your
get my
persona, yeah, online. And I was just like, and then when she said, I watched the podcast on YouTube, so I was like, shout out to Diana, and thank you for supporting. I just wanted to give her that quick shout out.
Yes.
But
I look really dark because I have no lights here. The lighting is like, the lighting's great, but not on me.
Now it's his turn.
Oh yeah, I know, exactly.
But this week is gonna be the case of the McStay family. On November 2009, Joseph McStay, and I'll go back and forth between his nickname, which is Joey, because they called him Joey. So I'll go back and forth until I have to use Joseph. So Joseph McStay is 40 years old. Summer McStay is 43 years old. Gianni McStay is 4 years old, and Joseph McStay Jr. is 3 years old. And they had purchased a home in Fallbrook, California. It was going to be one of those fixer-uppers. They were excited. You could tell that Joseph, throughout his, filming, because he liked to film too, like family videos and stuff like that. You could see that he was super excited to have this new home, because they were living in an apartment before that. And so he was like, I'm so excited, to kind of remodel this house, paint it, do it to what we like, and giving their kids a bigger place to play in. So Joey is described as a very nice, personable, down-to-earth, adventurous person. Summer, on November 2009, Joseph McStay, 40 years old, Summer McStay, 43 years old, Gianni McStay, 4 years old, and Joseph McStay Jr., 3 years old, had moved to Fallbrook, California, and they purchased a new home. They were ready to renovate it. They were excited. They were coming out of a 2-bedroom apartment, so they were ready to go. You could tell that when Joseph would film like his family videos, he would be so excited. Oh my God, look at the mountains. This is such a beautiful place to raise children.
And where was this?
This was in Fallbrook, California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's right on the outskirts of San Diego.
Okay,
California.
down. Okay, it's south.
These are real small towns. And soon, Summer had just come out of a terrible relationship, and she met Joey because he had a friend, or they had a mutual friend that kind of was like, let me set y'all up, let me play, Cupid. And so of course she met Joey, and she was fell in love with him right away. And so, soon after, they had their kids, they got married. And so they started, that project that they wanted to be at home, kind of painting. Joey worked from home. He also owned he was very successful in what he did. My notes are everywhere. Jose, hold on. Because I went back and forth. Yeah, it's down here. He also owned a very successful waterfall business, and some of these displays that he created were beautiful. Like they had either they were like all glass. You know how the water, like when you go into businesses, you know how you have that waterfall like kind of in the middle sitting, and it's either like made of stone or made of glass. So that's kind of what he was doing to provide for his family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and he they were really nice. So some of the stuff that they were showing, I was just like, holy crap! Can you imagine?
That reminds me of the movie. Is it Sweet Home Alabama?
Well, yeah, because he was kind of creating what do you call it?
Like, cause he was like through lightning and
yes,
the sand, and
it
made sculptures. Yeah, I was like, oh, that reminds me of that.
So on February 10th, 2010, Patrick McStay, which is Joey's father, had been trying to reach Joey, and Patrick lives in Houston, Texas. So it's not as easy as like, oh, let me just go see if he's at home. It's one of those like, okay, let me call him. So he had been calling him for about a week and no answer from Joey, which the call started February 5th. So by February 10th, his dad was like, this is a little concerning. I can't even leave a voicemail. And he's usually really good about answering voicemails. So Joey's father decides to call his brother, which is, his son, which is Michael, and tells him, I've been trying to reach Joey for the last 5 days. He's not answering. Can you please go find out what's going on? And Michael responds with, no, Dad, I'm busy right now. He's probably on vacation. So the reason why the brother answers that way is because obviously Michael and Joey live in California. So he knows that he's on a regular basis tends to either take, small weekends, mini vacations with his family, and kind of shuts down to the world and just like, okay, let me just spend time with my family. So his brother thought nothing of it and, kind of left it as is.
So he unplugs.
So he unplugs, yeah. Or what did they say? Cell phone vacation, as they called it.
Oh, that's cute. Cell phone-less vacation or something like that. Yeah.
And so that's why the brother didn't seem too concerned with, okay, he's fine. Dad, don't worry about it. So kind of stayed like that until
A parent's instinct.
exactly, because he was so close to Joey, and his dad were really close, and they called each other almost every day. This case gets a little, I don't want to say weird, but it gets a little like, well, why didn't Joey come up with a like, hey dad, I'm gonna be on vacation, or hey brother, like, you know what I mean, one of those things where they're just guessing that you're taking the mini vacation versus no, he took it.
But prior to that, would Joey normally like inform them, like, hey, I'm gonna...
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
From the evidence that they were showing, it seemed like whenever he turned off, they were just like, okay, he's on vacation.
But there's a difference between like a weekend vacation from a whole week's vacation, right?
Exactly. Okay. And so that's where it was kind of like, you guys just kind of, the brother was just, I know my brother, he's fine.
And nothing from the other side of the family, like that they were trying to get a hold of her?
Of Summer, it didn't state that they were. I think that it was more of this dad, Joey's dad, being really persistent. Like, hey, something's going on, but if you're telling me otherwise, okay, I'm gonna let it be for now.
I'm going crazy. Estoy loco. I feel like we get that a lot with when we're doing something, somebody's gonna justify it somehow. No, they're fine, fine. When I'd rather overreact than underreact, right?
Yeah, and that's how the brother was kind of underreacting. I was like, okay, well, if that's how you want to go about it. So remember I mentioned Joey had a very successful business with waterfalls. His company was called Earth Inspired Products, and he designed and built high-end, waterfalls. I just wanted to put that out there.
I just can't get the movie out, so I'm like, oh my god, it's pretty, but it sounds nice.
No, they were really nice. I wish I could have. I didn't take pictures. I was like really like down to the wire with this case. So Joey hires Chase Merritt, who is a welder, and they become business partners and really good friends, and they do really good work together. Like, again, I'm saying it over and over, but they had some nice work. Okay. And they became best friends. I said that right? Did I say that? Okay.
Twice.
Sorry. Joey also hires Dan, I'm going to butcher the last name. Kavanaugh, and he was a hacker or a webmaster, as they like to say.
That is good to keep in your pocket, mamita.
Not all the time.
Oh. Well, the reason I say that is because so my YouTube was hacked as well, and I could see what they were watching, and it's so weird because it's complete opposite of what I would watch. Mm-hmm. So just before you got here, I had saw that, and I was like, oh, I wish I was a hacker so I could remove all their stuff.
And so he was hired to design Joey's business website. And the way Dan would get paid was based off of sales and hits off the site. And he also maintained the website for Joey, here and there. Joey also hired Gina Watson, and she was the account manager for him. And one thing that Joey always did do, though, even though he would shut off his phone, he would always answer any business calls or emails because he prided himself in, giving that great customer service to his clients. So he never wanted to, leave a bad taste in their mouth. But he's also, this is also providing for his family. So he never wanted to cut that off.
Well, that's really interesting that he has a full voicemail and his dad saying, like, check on him. And if he's not even answering for the family, that's fine because, that he's just disconnecting. Mm-hmm. But if he's already said, like, I'm not disconnecting from my business, then that should have been a red flag to someone else.
Well, yeah, because his dad is like, I can't even leave a voicemail. Like, it's not like him. But if you're telling me otherwise.
And it's the same number for the clients?
It's the same number for the clients because that's what the dad kept saying. Like, I tried to leave a voicemail and I couldn't, And that's where it started. 5 days later, I still can't reach him. Yeah. So then, of course, that red flag goes up for them, and they're like, something's going on. So Joey's family starts kind of reaching out to people they would think like, okay, let's try Chase, who is his business partner. Let's try, which is Gina, the other account manager. Let's try, and none of them have heard that. Dan, they reached out to Dan, and that nobody has heard from them. So that's where the dad starts getting concerned, like, okay, nobody's heard from him. What's going on?
Yeah.
So finally, on February 9th, Chase goes out to the McStay home and he sees that no one's home. He's just like, nobody's here. Okay, I've tried coming out here. I've tried calling them because he was calling them too. So he decides to call Michael, which is the brother, and say, hey, your brother's not here at home. I don't know if you want to file a missing person report, but nobody's been able to get a hold of him. So from February 5th, where the dad starts calling, to February 9th, nobody's been able to get a hold of him. And so, of course, the brother's just like, no, we're fine. He's probably on vacation. Why it took so much convincing for him to finally say, okay, let's go to the house. So on February 13th.
I'm not blaming the brother at all because I'm sure he's blaming himself. Mm-hmm. But there's got to be a point where you're like, I should at least, if anything, at least pay attention to the dad and say, let me make him feel just a little comfortable. Let me go check. Mm-hmm. What's the worst? You're just it's the same thing. You're going to have to do a quick drive, but people don't want to be bothered anymore. I'm like,
it seems like the brother was really into his work that he just, kind of didn't want to be bothered.
Well, it sounds like they're both, they're good work ethics, right? Yeah. But come on, bro. This is your family member. There's got to be a time where because they're like, whenever I'm asking friends and they're like, ugh, is their first reaction.
Yeah. He fucks.
Because to everything, it's a no. And I'm like, wait, breathe. I'm trying to tell you something. They're like, oh, okay. And I feel like the brother's reacting like that. I'm like, wait, take a second, take a step.
Yeah. So on February 13th, Michael and Chase go to the McStay home. And in the driveway, they do see Joey's truck parked there, but they don't see which is their family vehicle, okay, which is a 1996 white Isuzu Trooper, is gone.
Okay.
Michael decides to enter the house through an unlocked window in Joey's office. And when he goes in, he opens the front door for Chase, and they start looking around. Nothing looks like out of place, but they did see a carton of eggs on the kitchen counter, rotting bananas. They see Summer's prescription glasses on the counter, which I think she needed because in every photo that I see, she's wearing the glasses.
No, then she needed it.
Mm-hmm. And on the futon, where probably what they would think would be the kids sitting on there watching TV, you see 2 bowls of popcorn, both spilled over.
That's enough. I would have been like, let's overreact. Call 911 now.
And since the home was being renovated, there was kind of paint everywhere left behind. The brushes were kind of sitting on top of like the open paint buckets, not cleaned or washed off. You know how sometimes when you finish painting, you kind of wash them out. Nope, they're just sitting on top of there.
Were they doing their own work?
Yeah, they were doing their own work.
Oh, okay,
yeah, they were doing their own work. And then the 2 dogs, there was 2 family dogs that were left behind. And these dogs had little to no food when Michael and Chase arrived. Yeah. So they thought that was odd too, because they're like, no, these dogs are well taken care of. They love their dogs like they were, their kids. So finally, Michael calls 911 and makes a missing persons report for all 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And when San Diego PD gets there, they start kind of doing the search. They take pictures, but there's no signs of entry. There's no struggle, there's no blood, there's nothing. There's nothing that they could find to be like, okay, there's a crime was committed.
I mean, but there's popcorn toppled over. There's dry paint brushes. There's dogs that are left unattended. So there's things that's stating that they left abruptly.
Yes.
Like you could tell that there was a mess. Nobody's going to leave eggs out like that, knowing they're going to go bad. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because all of that didn't make any sense. But according to San Diego PD, Nothing seemed out of the ordinary.
Here's where they probably dropped the ball, right?
Oh God.
Okay, so, and that's how we had good cases where we're like, oh my God.
They did so well, yeah.
Like where I live, they did a really good job taking care of the case. So I was like super happy.
Yep.
But then you hear this and you're like, mother fudger.
So the only thing that the police did find was a neighbor's surveillance camera that only captured the wheels. I was like, how do you only capture wheels? Because the camera's kind of tilted down, or the way that they show it to on the episode is tilted down, where you only see the wheels turning and backing out.
Was it done that way or was it placed that way? Like, was it moved? This is something it's so funny. I'm relating to this. I'm sorry, we have people in the background. This is something that we can relate to because there was cameras in where I was, but because they didn't want to deal with the aftermath, they tilted it down just to not be part of the situation. So I'm not sure. Like, obviously, the neighbors aren't gonna know, what's going on. So it's weird to me what was captured, because all you get is the back, like the back wheel first, and then obviously the front where they're backing out, and that's all you get. So to say that it was the trooper, it could be, it could not be. What do you mean to say it was a trooper?
Because all you see is the trooper, which is the vehicle that's missing. The family vehicle.
I thought you meant like a
state trooper.
State trooper. I was like,
no, the Suzu trooper. I'll base it off like that. Backing out, but I'm like, that really doesn't.
But you can't tell who it was who left. Correct. Okay.
No.
And they've gone through the whole house.
Okay. There's nothing out of the ordinary for them in their eyes. So there also is a date and time stamped, which is February 4th at 7:47 p.m.
Okay.
Remember, the calls start February 5th when the dad starts looking for Joey. So then, I was going to say SAPD, sorry. San Diego police put out a BOLO, which means be on the lookout, for the vehicle, and within minutes they receive a hit. And the Isuzu trooper is found in a parking lot nearby the Mexican border.
Hell no.
But on February 8th, it is towed because it had been sitting there for, what is it? About 4 days. No broken glass, no sign of any forced entry into the vehicle, no signs of blood.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets really, this is why.
I guess because I'm trying to put it together that normally you connect to things like that. So I'm like, this has got to be a mule, something like that, because you connect to those for some reason.
Yeah. So Joey did work from home, but on February 4th, he had a business meeting in Rancho Cucamonga and met with his business partner, Chase Merritt, for lunch. And at home, Summer was talking to her sister on the phone, and there was one phone call made from Joey's phone a little after 4 p.m. that day, which is February 4th, to Chase Merritt. But he did not answer the phone because he was watching a movie with his girlfriend, and that was the last trace of the McStay family.
Who's Chase?
Chase is the business partner, remember? The one that's helping, because Chase is the welder that was hired onto the company.
Now, was he doing anything for the personal house?
No, nobody was. It was just them two. It was kind of their passion project. It was going to be what they wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people just love doing that.
Yeah, and that was them.
I'd cry if I had to do that. What do you mean I have to build it?
Well, remember, you see, he's created. Creates and builds these waterfalls, so it's in his nature. And of course, from the way they describe Summer, it's just they love spending time together. They love, doing things together.
That's adorable, though.
Yeah. So on February 19th, San Diego PD puts an executive search warrant on the McStay. I want to say McNay. I'm so sorry. The McStay home to find any more clues, to try to go deeper into something, because they've now been missing they've been missing about a week and a half, something like that, with no clues whatsoever. And they do, in Summer's computer, they do find that she had been looking up passports and software was downloaded to learn Spanish. So, of course, a statement is put out by San Diego PD that they're probably in Mexico. Go ahead.
What? Sorry. Was that after or like right before the search? When was that? When did they see that she was searching that up?
It didn't say like the dates that she was searching. It just said that she searched it. Like once they went into her computer, they found that she was looking at passports and that...
The reason I ask is because that's too convenient, right? You know, since I used to be a flight attendant, it takes a while for you to get passports. And after COVID, sometimes it takes a little bit longer because they're like backed up. They, at one point, they were backed up. When was this case?
This was back in 2010.
And to me, it just, I don't know, it doesn't make it, it would still takes a while though.
Yeah.
So looking at passports, they didn't put the rule up about passports until after COVID. Okay. Remember? Well, so the reason I say this, sorry, just to go off tangent real quick, is because I just saw this creator and a few other creators, and they're from Mexico, but so their parents are from Mexico. They're raised here in the U.S. They went to Mexico just recently without their passports or their birth certificate, and because of that,
the creator,
they got stuck.
Yes.
They got stuck, and luckily they happened to have somebody that was a border patrol that was like, fine, we'll let you go because you answered all these other questions.
Yeah.
But that rule wasn't put until like 2021, 22.
Maybe, yeah.
So why wouldn't they just be able to get in and out of the border? Why do you need a passport to go to Mexico when you're just driving through it or walking? Because that doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
To leave Now, us as Latinos, we already know. You better keep your car right here, honey. At least the people in Texas, we would tell, leave your car outside of Texas and then just walk over the border, right? Because you're going to just party. And then get a couple of like items that are cheaper. But no, it just doesn't make sense. The whole family is gone.
So according to San Diego, because of this, according to San Diego Sheriff's Department, they put out a statement saying, they're in Mexico. So this is treated as a voluntary missing persons case and was not considered a crime. So that's because we're already thinking like that doesn't make sense. Like, why would you just go based off of?
And why wouldn't they inform anyone? Why wouldn't they tell their coworkers that they're leaving? Especially his business was what's making money. Why are they leaving an unattended, not fixed house? Why not get a realtor to sell it at its condition? Something. Nothing is telling you that they plan to leave. Yeah,
and especially that they had just purchased this home. Like it hadn't been that long and they were renovating. So it just, nothing seemed right as to how they were investigating.
I'm not even an officer. How are y'all not coming up with this?
Exactly. So of course it didn't sit well with Joey's family. So Michael, which is Joey's brother, created a website called Find the McStay Family. And at the same time, Joey's father had all his IDs and passwords to access his accounts. So he was also like, they were all doing the research, like, let's look through the emails, let's look through,
Follow the money.
Yeah, exactly. And so they started looking at their joint account, which is Summer's and Joey's joint account. And they had $100,000, a little over $100,000. They're like, why would you leave this money? Why would you leave this money here, knowing that you were traveling to Mexico?
Was it moved? Anything was touched?
Not in those joint accounts. Not in that one.
Oh, but in the business?
In the business, as we go through. So Summer, and as they're looking through the emails, they run into an email that Summer received in December of 2009. So remember, I did mention that she had just come out of a very violent or very bad relationship right before she met Joey.
Slightly you said it, but yes.
So she had...
Because it came out like quick and I was like, ¿qué dijo?
Sorry. So she had come out of a bad relationship and she received an email from her ex named Vic. And he was telling her happy birthday and I love you forever and ever.
Fuck off, Vic.
But she hadn't spoken to him in about 5 years.
Okay.
So it seemed a little off.
Damn, let it go.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Damn, she's happy with kids.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, they look into his background.
Wait, that's convenient. Where's Vic at? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Did the communication say, like, I'm in Mexico?
No. That's all it said. That's all that the email said. So, of course, he's put on the list as a suspect. And they check into his background. And, of course, they see that there's charges against him. And it's threats against people. So that kind of like, okay, red flag there.
Yeah.
And of course,
or at least question him.
Yeah, exactly. So they question him. He does provide an alibi. It does, go through, and he's cleared. He's off the case. He's no longer a suspect.
Did he state that he did communicate with her?
No, he didn't. So weird with him is that he was always around without them knowing that he was around, because they do see that his apartment was 2 miles away from their old apartment.
If you can't see that my double chin is tucked real out, I don't care what. What do you mean he's close by?
Yeah, he's close. He lived close by to their old apartment, not to the new home, to the old apartment.
But that doesn't really say anything. It
Exactly.
can just be coincidence.
That's why I didn't really mention it. I just said it was cleared.
I wonder if it's just easy to point the finger at somebody else.
It was because they needed to find, because at this point they haven't found the family. They don't know what's going on. They're missing. Everything's just like they vanished. So they're, of course, trying to pinpoint, okay, now it's you. No, it's you. No, it's you. So starts off with Vic. And of course he's cleared because he has an alibi. And at this point, the case goes cold. There's nothing coming in. They've already tried to search everything that they, anything that they, got throughout the website, nothing. Until Gina Watson, which is, remember, I told you she's the account manager for Joey's business. She receives a phone call from another reseller, and she says, hey, Joseph's McStay's company, is it for sale? She's like, what? He's missing. Like, there's no way that his company went for sale. She goes, let me send you the link so that way you can look into it. So, of course, sends her the link, and Gina looks into it, and she finds that it's none other than David Kavanaugh, and he's trying to sell the company for $1 million. And she's like, what? Like, he can't sell it. Like, it doesn't belong to him. And so...
Is he on the paperwork, though?
He's on, well, yeah, because remember, he's the webmaster. So he's...
No, other than that.
No, that's it.
Like, is he on, if something were to occur, you take over the business?
No, nothing like that. No, nothing like that. So...
I'm not trying to sell it under this poor man.
And then, so Dan, the reason why he was doing this, because he thought that Joey owed him more money than what he was giving him. Because he felt like, hey, I created the website. I'm here trying to put the links. Sorry, I'm here trying to put the link. So when people search waterfalls, you're the first person that they see. So he thought, you owe me more money than what you're paying me. So he thought, okay, well then I can sell the business since I, created the website. When they're masters behind the computer, they think they could do whatever they want. So of course, they find Joey's family finds messages between Dan and Joey. And of course they find them arguing about the whole money situation. But they also find that on a consistent basis, Dan is asking Joey for money. Hey, can you lend me $50 here? Can you lend me $100 here? $300 there? And it became consistent up until a few days after the family disappears. Dan withdraws $2,000 from Joey's account. And I'm just like, oh my God.
So he had access to the
somehow,
funds?
Some way he probably...
I mean, he's not stupid. He knows how to work a computer.
That's probably how he was able to do it.
That's probably where he got...
because he may have access, or he was able to hack into probably the
because they had an
business
account manager, right?
Yes, which was Gina.
And she wasn't part of this?
She would... No, not... I mean, I guess at this point, she's kind of taken out of the equation because... since the business is kind of now handed off to the family, because they're trying to investigate and do all of that. So she's no longer involved like that. She was involved when, Joey was around.
But she didn't move any money, right?
No.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, as of right now, she's not showing up for anything.
Okay.
So Dan Kavanaugh is obviously, questioned, and he has an alibi. He was in Hawaii on a surf trip. Alibi comes through. He is cleared off the case.
Like a paper trail he has, or is it a visual? Like he has photos.
He's actually out there. There's paperwork. He's there. He's not nowhere to be in the States.
Give me 1 second.
Bless you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Which is crazy because it's just like you see all these paper trails of money missing. You see that he took it, but then he's gone. So I'm wondering if he took this money and then took off. I'm wondering, or
2,000.
Or if he
What's he gonna do?
Or if he was already out there. Well, he was already out there. Now that it's in my head, he was already out there, and he's probably spending money, and that's why he took the 2,000 because he needed money to be spending out there.
He's not the first one that's ever done something like that and gone to Hawaii. There's another case who did that, where the mother, her kids went missing, and they asked her about it, and she was like, people were asking like, are you concerned? She was like, well, I'm glad that they're concerned. Okay. Like something that's like, she made some kind of remark, but she was in Hawaii. Surfing it up.
Oh, is this a recent case where the mom left her behind?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know what you're
Or
talking
not
about.
left the kids behind, but did something.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then had Joey's company kept going, he had contracts for the next 5 years. It's just a little known fact that I wanted to throw in there. 5 years, contracts for 5 years, which would have estimated $11 to $12 million. This is how successful this man was with his business. That is, I mean, I'm telling you.
So he could have paid somebody to rebuild that house.
Could have paid.
That's all I focus on. I'm like, why do you want to build it yourself? I get it. Because some people are really good at it, though.
Yeah, when you're working from home and you're creating these waterfalls and you have somebody else that's building them, I mean.
No, I get it. If I was good at that, I'd be like, oh, let's go do that. Not me. I'd be like, come pay it.
Yeah, that's me too. I would have been like, you do it.
Yes, foundation, please.
Yeah.
Or something.
So, of course, the case goes cold yet again. On November 11th, okay, remember, this case happened and they disappear from what it looks like February 4th, 2010. 2010. On February 11th, 2013, a call is made to 911, and it's a young man who happens to be off-roading in the Mojave Desert. He finds what looks like to be a human skull. A search is conducted.
And it's hot, so that means that body is going to decompose. The body or bodies are going to decompose fairly quickly.
Yeah, because it's nothing. There is nothing out there.
But heat. Mm-hmm. Where's the desert from where they were? Do you know?
It'll come out later.
Oh, ain't.
He has, the search is conducted. Of course, police go out there, search is conducted, and they find 2 shallow graves. 4 badly decomposed bodies, brutally beaten.
Beaten? All of them?
2 adults and 2 children.
No, but all of them were beaten?
Mm-hmm.
All of them?
All of them.
That's ugly.
They also find a sledgehammer near the graves. They find a pair of children's pants and a diaper.
I guess this doesn't sound like a one-man job. It doesn't. I get like the dad. You'd have to tie up dad and mom. And how old were the kids? You said
3 and 4.
So, they're gonna cry and scream. You're gonna have to hold something down. Like you can't just hold mom while the kids are. They're gonna be there next. It doesn't make sense to me.
This whole case doesn't make sense.
It sounds like a more than one man job.
So, where was I at? Through dental records, they're able to identify Joseph and Summer McStay and also what they believe their two sons to be in the second shallow grave.
So he put them separately, but he put.
I'm not sure if they put them separately because it doesn't say. It just you find two. So I don't know if they put one adult, one child, or the adult and then the children. It doesn't say how they were found or how they were buried.
And he or whomever, I'm sure it's he. He beats the kids
with the sledgehammer.
Is that the weapon of choice? Like there is no gun or anything like that?
Mm-mm. They're saying. So Joey had an electrical cord around his neck. Everyone else was a bludgeoned to death. Mm-hmm. So at this point, San Bernardino PD.
It sounds so personal though, because you were beating. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Like you have to react.
It's a lot.
It's because I've already reacted, so I'm like. So San Bernardino PD take over the case since the remains were found in their jurisdiction. San Diego PD hand over everything that they have found throughout when they first took the pictures and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good.
So the McStays were found 100 miles north, which is Victorville, California. Okay. So I guess the Mojave Desert is in Victorville.
Okay.
San Bernardino Police. San Bernardino Police. Sorry, I was trying to say that quickly.
Bernardino.
Want to go.
San Bernardino.
That's a Texan in us.
That's a Latina, yeah. San Bernardino. I'm like, yeah? Sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So, SB Police want to go back to the McStay home, but they can't because the home has...
I'm sorry, go.
I'm trying to stay...
Dirt.
I didn't say it.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
said SB.
Sorry.
They want to go back to the home, but they can't because it's been cleaned, wiped down, and sold.
Who?
And so the mom had gone back. Joey's mom had gone back in because they needed to sell it. So they had gone back in. They had cleaned it, wiped it down.
Evidence still.
Yes, but it's 3 years later.
Oh shit!
Remember?
I didn't hear you say 3 years. I'm sorry, I was still laughing.
I said 2010. The case happened. 2013, they were found.
Oh, okay.
So the house had to be cleaned, wiped down, sold, and another family was already living there. So there's no way they could go back into the home.
Okay.
And I even put here, remember, it was 3 years later.
Yeah.
So SBPD started looking into the photos that they had taken in the home, and they noticed that one of the rooms was repainted over again. Why San Diego police did not see that beats the you-know-what out of me, because I'm like, how did you not see that at the beginning? How did you guys took the pictures? You guys were physically in the home taking.
Why does that matter though?
Because what if the crime happened in the house?
Oh, like blood splatter.
Exactly.
Oh.
Because remember, I kept saying no blood found, no blood found. There was no blood found. But they were beaten with the sledgehammer. So you can't. Nobody knows where the crime scene is at.
But there was still be stuff on the floor, though.
There was nothing, Jose. Nothing.
I think they didn't. You're right. They probably didn't do a due diligence of like sending someone to do to check blood splatter.
This is 2010, so I know we had to have something.
Yeah, there was
or the lights
enough to spray and then do
exactly. And
no, there was.
San Diego police. They did not do their job right. Is my opinion.
So blood doesn't just come out like that easily. I wonder, if anybody knows, leave it in the comments, is if blood would still be visible on the floor, like even after all those years of washing and, because blood it's not easy to come off. Like you'd have to take your time with it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like it was a well thought out plan. So,
but yet there's no evidence to say otherwise. None. No blood anywhere.
Okay.
Not in the vehicle, because obviously it rolled out, because they have footage, so to speak, that it came off the driveway.
I don't think it happened in the house.
I don't think so either, but it had to have happened somewhere. But where? If it's not the house, then where?
So he had to have had dinner, right? And after the dinner, I feel like it had to have happened somewhere. But how do you hold somebody against their will with only
A hammer.
It was a hammer?
That sledgehammer. Remember they found it.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How do you hold them with a sledgehammer unless you knock them out? I don't know. It just doesn't make
it. It does. Yep.
Yeah, I see why it's difficult in this case.
So of course they go back and look at the Isuzu Trooper, which is a family vehicle, because that's the only thing that they, is still in evidence, besides the pictures. They try to go and get DNA. They do find traces of DNA from none other than Chase Merritt, which is the business partner of Joey. And they start looking into Chase. Chase Merritt is an ex-con who was charged for burglary, grand theft auto, and receiving stolen property. I didn't look that up, so I was like, I don't know what that means.
What is it again?
Receiving stolen property. He also had a gambling addiction. And knowing all of this, Joey still...
Makes sense for the $200, the $30, the $50.
No, remember, that was Dave Kavanaugh. That was the webmaster.
Oh, and who's this?
This is the business. This is the welder. This is the business partner. This is the best friend.
See, this is why I'm telling you, I think there's more than one here.
So knowing all of this, Joey still wanted to give Chase a chance to work with him.
Why did she stay quiet?
Because
okay, it's gonna come out. Okay, go ahead.
No. Once I get to the end, I'll tell you why. Because this is why I was such in a crunch time. So he still wanted to give him a chance, and Chase kept borrowing money as well, time and time again, which he borrowed up to $30,000. Because remember, he has a gambling addiction.
This doesn't make any sense of why they're taking their own money. These two guys don't know how to handle their money at all.
Nope.
But they know that this one guy can handle his money that he's worked really hard for. Why not take advantage of the situation?
Exactly.
Fucking assholes.
And at one point, Gina, which is the account manager, even has a conversation with Joey and tells him, why are you hiring this guy? Like, you see the lengthy record that he has. He's known in this business, like as far as welding. Like he's not, he's a con artist, and Joey just wanted to give him a chance.
You know what's funny is that you and I, like you did this case, and I was just listening to a case that I wanted to do for the following week. And it plays like this, the same thing over and over, not good with money, bringing somebody you're not supposed to onto the business, somebody warning, it's the same thing.
So of course, Summer, which is Joey's wife, steps in and starts telling them like, hey, they're taking advantage of you. You need to put a stop to this between Dan and Chase. Like, this has got to stop. And obviously, this is coming from, I think this was Gina who was stating like, Summer was getting upset. Like, she was getting to the point where you got to put a stop to this. So police start looking into Chase's phone records, and they discovered that he was very close to the area where the McStay's remains were found the day after. But Chase's sister also lives in Victorville, California. So about maybe a couple of miles down from the Mojave Desert, from where the remains were found.
But that would be an immediate red flag. It has nothing to do with coincidence. I would think, well, then you would know that in this area there wouldn't be a lot of movement. There wouldn't be, I wouldn't get caught. There's nothing there. I would know that that's the place to do it.
So then police also recovered that Chase had written several electric checks against the business that grand total to $21,000 on top of that.
Find the money, find the culprit. And this is two people that are using money against, one of them is, I think it's both. Both of them are working together to say, why not sell it under him? Why not tell the guy that's good at hiding or removing, the footprints of their online activity, and then also saying, let's also sell it underneath. Because if it was directly the other owner of it, then it would be a red flag immediately. But if you tell the other guy, "Oh, let's do it," I know exactly how to do it.
Exactly.
I don't know. Just follow the money.
It's a lot of there was so. They're thinking that Chase Merritt started stealing money from Joey, like behind his, like making fraudulent checks starting February 1st. So there was a lot of back and forth with this case, because when I started looking at the court, because there was I had to watch two different episodes, or two different the way that they were investigated. So with the second time around, it went more into the case, and I'm not going to go too much into the case because it was a lot of back and forth, and I didn't do it, and it wasn't me, and all this.
The same slew that everybody does.
The lawyers were terrible. It's like both were trying to win the case, and it's like they were fighting and arguing back and forth inside the courtroom. The judge didn't have control of them. I felt, this is just my opinion. So on November 7th, 2014, and this is his legal name, Charles Chase Merritt was charged with 4 counts of murder for Joseph, Summer, Gianni, and Joseph Jr. McStay.
Good.
The police also filed a special circumstance of multiple murders, which means that the accused actions or conditions under which the murders were committed indicate a disregard for life or society, which means he is eligible for the death penalty, is why they added that in there. So, of course, like I said, going back to the trial, only him. Only him. The trial, because they do try to, in the trial, it comes out. So the trial begins.
So this is all circumstantial evidence, right? Like
So
they don't
there
have
is no
actual evidence.
DNA.
They don't have body. They don't have anything.
Well, other than the remains, they don't have. Other than okay, real quick.
Oh yes, they do have bodies. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they have the remains, but there's nothing found on the remains. There's nothing found on the extension cord that was used. They do find Summer's bra. There's nothing on there.
But the extension cord is from the house, right?
I'm gonna assume it's from the house.
Okay.
You see, because this, like I said, this case is so.
Because I would think that when you're building your own house or rebuilding your own house, that you're putting extension cords because you're not you can't be in certain rooms.
Yeah. So on the trial begins January 7th, 2019, and the only evidence that they do have is trace DNA, which means like minute amounts of Chase's DNA, which is on the steering wheel and the console where the because back in the day because now your cars are just push start. Now it's the what did they say it was the gear shift is where they found traces of DNA. It wasn't complete DNA.
Why would you be driving his car?
Exactly. That's the only place that they found it. They didn't find it in the door handle coming because you got to get in and out of the car. They didn't find it there. So that what they're thinking is when they had lunch and they said their goodbyes, that when they shook hands is how Chase's DNA got onto Joey's hand and how he put his hand on the steering wheel and the gear shift. That's the only place that it was found. Nowhere else. Not anywhere else in the car. Not in the, like, let's say he went to the back and shut the doors, anything like that. Nowhere else was it found.
And what time of year was this?
This was 2010 when the crime was committed.
No, what time? Like during you said in February?
In February, yes.
Usually it's a little cooler during that time of year. So I'm just putting gloves on him. That's why.
And they also did say that on February 4th, his cell phone goes off the grid, which is the day that they go missing. The family goes missing. Mm-hmm. And he does not receive anything, or the phone, whether it was shut off or whatever it was, doesn't come back on till 9:32 p.m. Mm-hmm.
And where is it pinging off of? So,
remember how I told you, because, and this is why they charged him with the 4 murders, is because in the desert, it's like the grave sites are here. I don't know how to describe it, Jose. You're gonna have to do it for me.
Okay.
So the grave sites are here, and you have this like angle kind of going like this, like at a triangle.
Okay.
And at a really far distance, there's a hill. And on top of that hill, there's a phone tower. So it pings within that radius. And guess whose phone they ping? Chase's phone. But remember,
he's the only one?
He's the only one that they ping. Nobody else. But he uses...
I still don't... I feel like this is not a one-man job, but okay.
Maybe the other person, if there was another person, didn't have a phone with them. Was smart enough.
Yeah, that they probably were a little bit smarter.
Yeah. So because his phone pings there and there's nothing there. Nothing there because the sister doesn't live the sister lives within a 2-mile radius from where they're at, something like that. But I guess the way that the phone was pinged is at an angle where the desert is at. So I'm wondering if, I don't know. It just sounds like that's the way they're doing it because maybe the sister's house wasn't close enough. They're just gonna assume that that's where he was there. He had no other reasons to be in the Mojave Desert. Because I'm not sure if Victorville stands that close to the desert, if it's considered like it's in Victorville. It doesn't really say much on that.
So they just put the case on him and that's it?
On him and that's it.
And how many years did they give him?
So on June 9th, 2019, Charles Chase Merritt was found guilty of first-degree murder for all 4 Summer, Joey, Joseph Jr., and Gianni, with special circumstances, which carried the death penalty. And he was also found guilty for second-degree murders for all 4 as well.
Good.
On January 21st, 2020, Charles Merritt was sentenced to death at San Quentin prison. So it's one of those cases that really had me intrigued. Now, I didn't get to finish where we left off with Dan Kavanaugh because I felt like he probably played a role, but that's my opinion.
Me too.
My
Just
opinion,
listening to it, you can tell. Follow the money, follow the things. And if you're already taking from the money, even if that's all he did, that was more than enough. You're stealing from a dead man, essentially. You could say you're a business owner, but you weren't savvy with money. So you're stealing from a dead man who you were part. I don't know. I just feel like both of them had a part to do with this.
That or just, if he played a part, it would be the part of the stealing the money.
But
because
but planning it out is still part of it.
Yeah.
Even having one discussion about let's get rid of him is part of it. So I feel like there's more to this, and
there's more. But as of right now, it stands where Charles is gonna fight. I think he's gonna do a what do you call it? What do you call it when you appeal? He's probably gonna appeal because he said he didn't do it. He was adamant that he didn't do it. But I'm like,
speak up. You're willing to take all those years and sentence to death.
Yeah.
You're willing to go to death for somebody else who doesn't give 2 cents about you.
Which he did bring up Dan, but they couldn't find him throughout the whole trial.
What do you mean?
They couldn't. Like they sent out private investigators on both sides, which is the prosecution and the defensive side. Nobody could find this man. Nobody could find him. But finally, because I watched an episode of, I think it's ID Investigation, they happened to find him in, I think it was March 29th of 2022, I think.
But did they find him with the same name?
Yeah, Dan Kavanaugh. Can I say it?
Kavanaugh.
There you go. So, but that's where I
still in the same location?
As far as I know,
California,
yes. They didn't find him anywhere else. So I kind of stayed there, but I didn't think it was crucial to the case right now because
it is crucial.
Well, as far as because he's not found guilty, there's nothing leading him to.
Well, I say that because I think because this is all circumstantial evidence. Why not put him in the mix? Because there is money missing, and based on that, he has more to offer than what's his name?
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
I understand that Chase pinged. Kavanaugh's didn't. but Kavanaugh took more money than Chase at this point.
No, Chase did. Chase
Who took the
more money.
$20,000?
Chase.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I got confused.
Dan only took about, if anything, the 2,000 and then like 300, 200. But this was all the only money that was stolen was a $2,000 a few days after the family went missing. That's all that Dan took. Everything else was from Chase.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's why I was like, he doesn't.
I still think he still played a part though.
I mean, well, as of right now, it's just Chase Merritt. But that's why I was kind of like back and forth.
Of course.
Yeah, I was back and forth because I was like, this is all circumstantial. There's nothing putting them other than the phone pinging. That is it. That's all they have. And then the stealing of the money. But.
Well, it sounds like they found the right man either way. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he talks before.
Oh, he's talking. He's talking because he's like, it's not me. It's not me. I didn't do it.
Well, then say who it wasn't, where it happened.
So, that's where he's at.
Well, this is, I guess, to be continued because it sounds like it's going to continue with a little bit more like, I'll tell you who it was, but take this off. Sometimes they'll take the death penalty off if you get more information. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, everybody in jail talks about everybody else and tells everybody else's business. Just say it.
No, this man has been very, very, kind of the way he words. He knows how to word things. He knows how to
he's not dumb.
No, he's not, but he is. It's like he is, but he's not. Yeah.
Yes, I guess he's not dumb enough to like put himself. Man, this case and the other case are almost similar in the way they phrase certain things. Mm-hmm. Though, because I think they specifically were asked that. Not from me.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like
not from me.
Yeah.
It's very short, quick answers. Anyway, with that said,
That's it. That was It was just one of those.
Sorry, you
like I said,
us in the cliffhanger. I'm like,
it's because if it wasn't for San Bernardino kind of going into there, the PD going in there and really investigating, this case would have stayed cold, or it would have come out later when it was already too late. But still, they couldn't get DNA from the house. Okay, I was just like, it's sad all the way around for all families.
And it sounds like it's a sad it sounds like a horrible case. Mm-hmm. This is a way horrible that they all had to die and watch each other probably. Mm-hmm. With that said, thank you for listening. Dame un besito because we gotta go. Bye.